price of silver is regaining its previous momentum and is currently approaching our 45-year high. Due to the ongoing government shutdown, important economic data is being delayed, which is greatly impacting precious metal prices. By market cap, silver is quickly becoming one of the most valuable assets. Its current level surpasses that of Bitcoin. But what comes next? In conclusion, I know many of you are asking whether silver will drop again in the same way it did in 1980 and 2011. Then let's begin. Much obliged for your time. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Consider silver. At 48.37, it is currently dominating the market. It has gained more than 2.5% today, or almost 125. As a result, silver is approaching a 45-year high. That will be demonstrated to you in a moment. Before everything else, know that it isn't going up alone. Take a look at gold. An ounce is about $3,900. Gold is up more than $30 today, an increase of nearly 1%, but it did momentarily touch that mark. What is the takeaway from this then? Without a doubt, silver is outpacing gold in price appreciation. Additionally, the gold-silver ratio is approaching an 80-to-1 ratio, the value of 1 ounce of gold being equal to 80 ounces of silver. My method for purchasing precious metals will be drastically altered if this ratio falls below 80. I'll address that at the video's conclusion. However, what record is silver currently approaching? Here, we may observe that the record was 48.58 on April 28, 2011. Closing above that would give silver its highest point in 45 years, surpassing its previous high set on January 18, 1980. Therefore, I am uncertain as to whether it is capable of accomplishing that task nowadays. However, we anticipated pushback around the 48-hour mark. Now silver is trying it out. What happens next is anybody's guess. Such headlines appeared on several websites yesterday. Warren Buffett has changed his mind about gold and silver, which Robert Kiyosaki criticizes for changing his attitude for decades. Robert Kiyosaki has essentially always had a soft spot for precious metals. Generally speaking, Warren Buffett thinks that precious metals like gold and silver are bad investments. However, it seems like his tone has altered lately. I believe that many more individuals will start investing in precious metals if he now suggests that people purchase gold and silver. Here's something else we need to discuss. Take a look at the headline. Economic data cannot be released due to the government shutdown. Interest rate experts worry the Fed is making a mistake. There may not be a jobs report available on Friday due to the closure. Yes, it has accomplished that. This piece was published just yesterday. The release date of the jobs report was uncertain. We have learned that the jobs report will not be released. Find out what got postponed today by consulting the economic calendar. US hourly wages, the unemployment rate, the employment report, and hourly wages year over year, all posted after the fact. We still don't have a clue about this economic data. This is also what the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics says on their official website. Government service suspension, according to the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics. The federal government has temporarily suspended all services, including this website. Therefore, updates are not possible at this time. On Wednesday, October 1st, 2025, the site was last updated. Upon the return of governmental activities, the site will once again begin to receive updates. I am aware that negotiations are underway to determine whether a resolution can be reached to restart the federal government. And the outcome of that is anybody's guess. However, we will not have access to these economic statistics until that occurs. Personally, I believe that precious metals are being driven by a great deal of this fear. The strength of the US dollar index is another factor pushing metal prices upward. The currency is clearly losing ground today. Gold and silver prices tend to rise in tandem with a falling dollar. Here on this chart, Bitcoin and silver have been swaying back and forth. Top assets by market cap are these. Plus, gold is practically always a top pick. There appears to be no substance that can ever compare to gold. Check out the market cap right here. For more than $26 trillion. With $4.6 trillion, Nvidia comes in second. So gold is still way up there. Ethereum and silver, on the other hand, have been circling each other. Actually, silver was hardly in the top 10 earlier this year. However, silver has solidified its position in the 6th rank due to its ongoing climb in price. If it keeps to higher, it could overtake Google in market cap later this year. Bitcoin is currently hovering around its all-time high of $123,000 per Bitcoin, albeit I will mention this. But silver remains the superior metal in this regard. Thus, I feel obligated to comment that silver's bull run this year is very remarkable, even more so than last year when we established a new record. We are examining the silver price trend over the past year. What they do essentially is take the close every day and average it for the year. Thus, $35.56 in 2011 was the previous high. The record has been shattered by us. Right now, the price is $36.71. There are 3 more months of the year left, so I anticipate this figure will keep going up. Plus, an ounce of silver is going for about $48. This article is the result of all that. Will the price of silver plummet like it did in 1980 and 2011? Silver came dangerously near to the $50 resistance level not once, but twice, as seen in the following chart. Hunt Brothers fueled spike. It was in 1980. There was a rise in 2011 caused by QE. The bull market for precious metals has arrived in the year 2025. As far as they are concerned, this time around is different. Whether you're looking at the actual silver price or the silver price adjusted for inflation, this chart has you covered. Because of this, they project that after accounting for inflation, the high will reach $199 per ounce in the year 2080. Also, 2011 was the top year, with an ounce reaching $72. Clearly, we have fallen far from those earlier peaks, as we are currently sitting at $47.48. After taking inflation into account, it appears that silver still has a ways to go. The silver to M2 US money supply ratio, with an index of 100, is displayed in another graphic here. Furthermore, this demonstrates how the currency is being destroyed by inflation. Behold, these figures before you. After 1980, the peak was 1,038. The highest point was 176 in 2011. Just 66 remains now. As a result, I think silver's story is only beginning. Yes, we have witnessed its near $50 per ounce price spike and subsequent drop on 2 occasions. A very different game has begun though. Here are a couple additional charts to back up my claims in case you still have doubts. The silver to US federal debt ratio with an index of 100 is this one. The United States national debt has reached $37 trillion, which is no secret to many of you. We can see that the national debt peaked at 1,377 silver in 1980. The previous year, 2011, it was 87. Now it's at a mere 33. The US national debt, and by extension, global debt, are both increasing. Thus, this is one of the reasons why silver prices have reached record highs in a number of nations. The silver to Dow ratio with an index of 100 is another metric to consider. Here we see a parallel between silver and the stock market. Additionally, when contrasted with its 1980 price level, silver appears to be extremely inexpensive at the moment. The 6-decade cup and handle pattern in silver is the last item displayed here. Based on this chart and silver's technical trading, they predict that the metal's price might reach $300 to $500 per ounce. Will the price of silver plummet once it reaches $50 per ounce? Without a doubt, I do not believe so. Beyond where it is currently, I see it reaching far greater heights. Also, time may be running out for those of you who are holding out for silver prices to fall before purchasing more. To be fair, next Monday the price of silver might reach $50 per ounce. I am completely clueless about what's going to transpire. But if you've been keeping up with the trends and the price of silver, this might be your final opportunity to purchase it before it reaches $50 per ounce. We also anticipated strong opposition around $48. Right now, we're above that. In my opinion, it could go down a notch. The price might end the day just below $48. However, the waters have been examined. You can see that it can reach greater heights. However, the gold-silver ratio deserves our attention again. I had intended to end this discussion with this. As time goes on, we observe that the ratio keeps falling. Our year-to-date high was $104, and we're currently trading at $80. Therefore, my plan to buy mostly silver will change if this falls below $80. Since I have always used the method of purchasing primarily silver when the ratio is above $80. I prefer to purchase a mix of gold and silver when the price is between $80 and $60. I want to put most of my money into gold if this number drops below $60. So let's watch if it can fall underneath $80. In my opinion, silver is likely to fall into the 70s if there is another increase in price on Monday. Then it may be race time for silver. However, I am still uncertain about the future. In your opinion, what will transpire? Please tell me in the space provided. Much obliged for your time. Until my next one, take care. Discharges Silver Dragon.